Hello everyone, today I'm here with my next video, and that is The Voice of the Rain by Walt Whitman. This is the third poem in the book Hornbill of class 11. This is a beautiful poem by Walt Whitman where there is a conversation between the poet and the rain. So as the poem opens, we see the poet asking the rain as to who it was. And let us see how beautifully the rain has answered. Quickly we'll go through the summary and then we'll start the reading of the poem and explanation along with it. The poet looked at the gentle spell of rain and asked who it was. Much to the surprise of the poet, the rain answered back. It said that it was the poetry or the song of the earth which is never ending. It is intangible as it rises out of the land and endless sea before it rises towards heaven. There it changes its form, yet its essence is the same. It once again comes down to quench the thirst of the dry earth, to bathe everything, to settle the dust, and to bring back life in the seeds that just lie dormant and lifeless. It says it gives life to the Creator, that is the earth. It adorns and embellishes the earth, its creator, its originator. Bringing out a parallel between the rain and the music, the poet says that just like rain that takes a full cycle and comes back to its creator, similarly the poem or the song originates from its birthplace, that is the poet, travels the world whether one takes heed of it or not, then comes back to its creator with love. Such a beautiful poem. It is a small poem but has such a deep meaning. So as you can see, on the left side is the poem and right side I have the explanation. As I read the poem, I'll keep explaining in between. So the poem is, "And who art thou?" said I to the soft falling shower, which, strange to tell, gave me an answer as here translated. "I am the poem of the earth," said the voice of the rain, "eternal. I rise impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea." So as the poet is watching the rain, the shower, he questions the rain, and let us see how it goes about. So in these lines, the poet asked the soft falling shower, "Who are you?" Who art thou means who are you? To which the rain replied in a strange manner. The poet was shocked. He had never expected the rain to answer back. And the rain said that it was the poem or song of the earth. And it rose continuously without stopping, without ending, from the land and bottomless ocean in the form of vapor. Here the rain means to say that it is eternal, that is never ending, immortal. So beautifully the rain has answered back. It says that it is the song of the earth. a song brings happiness, in the same way, we will see how rain nurtures the earth. Now here we can see the poet very beautifully using literary and poetic devices to enhance the beauty of the poem. Now the title itself is Voice of the Rain. Voice of the rain. This is a personification. Voice, human beings have, people have. Rain has its own sounds. So the title itself is a personification. And when the poet says, I am the poem of the earth, the rain is referring to itself as I. So this is also a personification. And voice of the rain is another personification, because voice is not what the rain has. Rain has its own sounds. Here it is referred to as having voice. So this is a personification. Here we can also see a metaphor. The poet says that rain is the poem of the earth. It has compared itself with the poem. So this is a metaphor. We have another poetic device, that is hyperbole. Hyperbole is when the poet exaggerates to explain us something, and here it says bottomless sea. The poet actually means to say the vast and deep sea. He has used the word bottomless. Obviously it has a bottom, but it's too deep. So the poet has used exaggeration, and it is known as hyperbole. We can also see the poet using imagery when he says soft falling shower. When he uses these words, this phrase, immediately the reader can imagine how softly the rain must be showering. Upward to heaven, whence, vaguely formed, altogether changed, and yet the same, I descend to lave the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds, only latent, unborn. The poet says, the rain tells the poet that it rises upwards towards the sky in the form of vapor, where it changes its form, that is, condenses into water droplets. We all have studied the water cycle since our smaller classes, since primary section, where we were taught so beautifully how the water cycle takes place with all the processes of evaporation, condensation and precipitation. So that is what the rain is trying to explain, that it moves, it rises upwards towards the sky in the form of vapor. That means evaporation has taken place. And then it says that when it reaches the top, it condenses into water droplets to form clouds. So another process that takes place is condensation. And the poet wants to say that although its form gets changed from water, it changes to vapor and then back to water droplets, it still remains the same. The rain comes down to wash the drought and provide water. It also washes away the dust and small particles from the earth's surface. So the poet here explains what the rain is saying and says that once the clouds are formed, they burst into droplets of water again. for the process of precipitation, that is rain. And it says that when the rain comes down, it humbles down, it comes down, it quenches the thirst of the dry earth, it washes everything. The dust particles and all are there, that is all removed. Everything is washed away. Everything gets fresh. So the poet enriches the earth, embellishes the earth, beautifies the earth. The rain goes on to say, and the seeds inside the earth grow into a plant because of the water provided by the rain. It gives life to the seeds. Underneath the soil, there are so many seeds. Some sown by the farmer, some by the process of pollination. They lay dormant, they lay latent, absolutely silent. They need water to germinate into a plant. And when it rains, they get the water that is required. And young saplings come out. Seeds, they come back to life. So here, it means to say that it quenches the thirst of the dry earth. It is a life giver and it embellishes the whole environment. And forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. For song, issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. The rain continues to say that by day and night, it provides life, care, enrichment, and water to the place where it originated from. The rain keeps enhancing the beauty and purity of the earth by preparing a life cycle for itself again. Now, when the poet hears all this, in the end, the lines in the bracket is what the poet says. He says, the rain is like a song that originates from its birthplace, just like the heart of the singer, and travels to fulfill the earth's needs and wonders. It finally comes back to the place from where it originated, whether it is ruined or not, whether it is heeded or not. It returns to the original place with a lot of love to its birthplace. Here the poet brings out a parallel between the rain and his songs or poems. He actually wants to say that just like the rain, the song or the poem also travels around the earth. So many get to hear it. Many like it. Many do not like it. Many appreciate. Many do not appreciate. But it takes a full cycle and comes back to its place of origin with love. There are many poets, many singers who believe in this, that their poems and their songs are their living records. Living records. This is a phrase by Shakespeare, who also believes that whatever poems are written and songs are written, they never die. Yes, the poet may die, but their songs and poems are all immortal, just like the rain. Such a beautiful poem was written by Walt Whitman, which we all are enjoying. And yes, they are still a living record because Walt Whitman is not here with us. But his poem is being read by all of us, being appreciated by all of us. Alright, so let us see the poetic devices. As I had also explained and told to you about these poetic devices, let's go quickly down the line. Alright, the number one is personification. I told you personification is when the poet uses a non-living thing as a living thing. And here it says, I am the poem of the earth, said the voice of the rain. So the title is also voice of the rain, which is a personification, and I is here referred to personification. That is, rain is being referred to a person. Next poetic device is metaphor. When we compare two things, here the poet has compared rain to the poem of the earth. So the rain is being compared to the poem, to a poem. The next is hyperbole, which I told you is used for exaggeration. And here the words that are hyperbole are bottomless sea. And yet another we have, that is imagery, which forms a flashes and visual imagination in the reader, and that is soft falling shower. So this was a beautiful poem. Let's see the theme of the poem. The main theme reflected in this poem is the importance of cyclic nature of rain as well as the poetry of the poet. First, the water evaporates from the sea and other water bodies to atmosphere. There it forms clouds which then comes back to earth in the form of rain. The whole cycle of water is vital for earth. It is this cycle which makes the earth green and clean. It makes life possible on earth. And this is a unique quality that our planet has. According to the poet, like rain, his poetry is also vital for humans. It also has this cyclic nature. First, it goes from the poet to the different people. Then it changes them either by teaching them or making them smile or encouraging them or helping them to solve some other problems or struggle against something. Finally, it comes back to the poet along with happiness, criticism, suggestions. Please go through the whole video. If you still have any problem, you can please put them in the comment section. I will definitely answer back. I hope you liked my explanation. Thank you. Do take good care of yourself, and yes, please, before going, if you have still not subscribed my channel, do subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon for the latest notifications. Bye-bye.